Goedemiddag allemaal, welkom hier in de perskamer van de Johan Cruijff Arena, waar wij vooruit gaan blikken op de return in de derde voorronde van de Europa League. Naast mij Steven Berghuis en Francesco Farioli. Wie mag ik het woord geven voor een eerste vraag? Kijk even, Christian. Ja.
Good afternoon. Mr. Farioli, could you give us an update of the injury situation, fitness of the squad?
All the players are okay. Just Rasmussen is still in the process of, let's say, partial training with the team. So we will evaluate today, and after we will take the best decision.
Do you think Steven Berghuis could be part of the squad?
He will be part of the squad.
He will be part of the squad. What is his fitness level at this moment?
Again, to be part of the squad, of course, we need to manage. As you know, a few days ago it was still individual, so it's just a few days that he's with us. But of course, he's an important player, and we want to, use every possible advantage in our favor, and for sure Steven can bring us many things, but in terms of how many minutes on the pitch is something that we need to check, and especially we need to see how the game is going.
Some minutes is what you always say, right? Some minutes. Bertrand Traoré has been given some minutes in the past, 4 games actually. Do you feel his fitness is progressing the way you would like? Because he played, I think, about 33 minutes last Sunday.
Yeah, is a build-up of conditions. Is the same now also for Brian. It's normal that for the players that join the group, the situation is a bit different because they never had like a full exposure like the others. And again, we had also the example of this week with Ahmed Chan, how we manage him in order to give him like the possibility to play more. And I think this is every case is special, and we need to treat with all the attention and all the possible details that we believe are the important one, and that's all. So there is a program for the team, but after inside of the general one, there are so many different individual cases, and we should try to be on top of all of this one.
Do you feel he's progressing as fast as you would like to?
Yeah, he's doing everything. Of course, now what is the other part that we should consider is, of course, the condition of the player, but especially the type of demands that the game could present. So, and what we don't want is to expose the player to something that maybe is a bit too much from where they are. So we want them to have, the full range to cope with the demands of the game, and that's why maybe we prefer to, let's say, postpone for a few days like the bigger exposure, but to build like a good tempo and good condition.
Both against Heerenveen and the away game in Greece, Ajax in phases of the match had trouble when the opponent was applying high pressure. Would you like at this stage of the development of the team to react to this type of high pressure?
I think you are a bit too hard because to say trouble at the end for football is made by creating opportunities and not to concede. And if you think if you take the data of the game, we are not conceding too much. So I think of course there are difficulties, and this one I think is something that in a football game is always happening. There are also moments where we get out from the pressure, and sometimes maybe the last decision or the last pass were not like the ideal one, but also a very good moment. And as I said many times, we should not forget from where we are coming from. And this one I'm repeating every time that I sit here. And also not to forget that, as I said, we are building a process, and in building the process there are also mistakes, there are fears, emotions, and sometimes again we need to cope with where we are. And it's normal that, again, we are not perfect, but we are really working hard to get better every day.
Yeah, the centre backs are important, of course. You expressed your appreciation of the way Josip Sutalo is playing. Do you feel there is a difference between how you started working with him and where he is now?
With Joseph, honestly, we didn't have much time to work on the pitch, because if you think he arrived just before the friendly match against Olympiacos, so I think now it's less than 1 month that he's with us, and in the last month, as you know, we played more than what we trained. So at the end, with him, we didn't have a lot of time to spend on the pitch, and the majority of the work has been done in the meeting, in the individual session, and of course with some, let's say, collective things on the pitch, but honestly very few. And that's why, when we speak about the trouble and the difficulties, also we need to put a bit the circumstances that we are living, with players that came a bit late, important players that arrived late, or players that were not, let's say, completely fit to start full with the team. And they joined the team in one moment where already the competition and the necessity to perform was there. So unfortunately, we couldn't build like a very linear progression in all the things, but we had to jump some steps. That's why also I keep like a clear room of improvement for all of us. But in the other side, I need to also to express my total appreciation for what the players did so far, because honestly, the learning process has been very fast and, in my opinion, also quite positive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Eén rijtje achter naar Angelo.
Mr. Farioli, we are on our way. Ajax is on its way to full Farioli football, right?
Can you repeat? Pardon, I lost one part.
I guess Ajax is on its way to full Farioli football.
There is no Farioli football. There is the football that we would like to play. My job or my duties as a coach is to try to put pieces together, to try to provide for the players a platform, or to try to create a common language, and after is to put the players in the best conditions to perform. There is no Farioli football or Farioli ball, as sometimes there is not at all. What I believe, and especially for the way that I am, that I remark every day how important it is to be humble and to put effort in the work. This type of sentence are the farthest from my mind.
Could we say that the first step was to get a better atmosphere, a better feeling after last season?
Yeah.
And that the next step was to build a more secure defense? Successful so far, because less and less goals conceded.
Yeah, everything is coming together. The mentality, the spirit, the attention into the small details, the participation. Here close to me, I have one player that is honestly one of the biggest example of what you are mentioning. Steven, I think, has been recognized all of his career by his qualities, attitude, contribution into the offensive phase. If you check the last 2 games, of course, he scored a very important goal against Panathinaikos. But if you watch also the other part, that I know that sometimes is a bit more, difficult to see, or force the people to analyze in a much deeper way. If you see the way that he defends, it looks like it was a fullback or a center back, for the awareness, the positioning on the pitch, the energy in the sprint forward and in the sprint back. This is what we need. I said many times, and again, I'm not just mentioning this one because he's here close to me, but because it's what I believe. And this is what we need. And we need players with his character, his personality, to bring the example on the pitch. And if today we are maybe conceding some opportunity less, is of course thanks to the defensive line, but let me say thanks also especially for the players in front, that they are sacrificing a lot themselves. I mentioned Steven that is here. Let me mention also Chuba, because the work that he's doing for the team is outstanding. So this is something that I know that sometimes for you is not really valuable, but for me, honestly, is priceless.
Of course, you want to play Europa League football, but what in the process is the next step for you?
The next step is the game of tomorrow night, because in the game of tomorrow night there are many things, there are many different meanings. Of course, related with the results, with the possible achievement of playing, secure the possibility to play Europe, and of course with the target to compete for Europa League. But also is an important step for us in terms of consciousness, awareness of our journey. So I think the spirit has been great so far, and we need to be able to go through with all the attention and all the desire that we have. Sometimes it's difficult to recharge every 2 days to switch on again the battery and to go full. Panathinaikos is coming here with 1 full week of preparation. But again, what I saw from also the last couple of days, the spirit is there. The players were very, motivated already after the match against Erenven. They were already with the mind to Panathinaikos, and for tomorrow again to try to be ready as much as we can and to perform in the best way possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arjan, mag ik al een vraag stellen aan Steven Berghuis?
Ja, absoluut.
Hi.
Ja, sorry.
Hij doet het. Steven, zou jij je licht eens kunnen laten schijnen over de stappen die jullie maken als team in het proces waar de trainer het zojuist over heeft en waar jij je klaarblijkelijk als een vis in het water in voelt?
Ja, ik denk dat deze trainer nu mijn 27ste of 28ste trainer is die ik heb gehad in mijn carrière. Dus om alles te gaan vergelijken met hoe dat allemaal was, dan moeten we hier heel lang zitten, denk ik. Maar
Zijn proces eigenlijk.
wat zeg je?
Zijn proces
Ja.
met Ajax.
Het is gewoon dat wij als spelersgroep proberen uit te voeren wat hij en zijn staf aan ons vragen. En in allerlei opzichten moeten we daarin nog groeien. En zijn we goed onderweg. Alleen zijn er ook nog heel veel dingen voor verbetering vatbaar, zoals de trainer net ook zei. En we zijn ook pas net bezig. De eerste competitiewedstrijd is net achter de rug. Dus morgen weer een grote test voor ons.
Hij is lovend over jou. Wat doet dat met je?
Nee, ik heb ook Akpom gehoord, Forbes, Gods.
Ja, maar hij zegt, de dingen die ik zeg ik niet omdat hij naast me zit.
Ja.
Maar dat moet jou toch strelen?
Ja, jawel. En dan morgen is weer een nieuwe wedstrijd. Dus aan mij om dat weer te bevestigen.
Ja. Welke stappen moet jij zelf nog maken binnen dit plan?
Ja, allereerst mijn fitheid. Ik denk dat ik daarin goede stappen aan het maken ben de laatste tijd. Ook met dank aan de opbouw die ik krijg in de trainingen en de wedstrijden. Mijn laatste officiële basisplaats voor Panathinaikos uit was Bodo Glimt. En dan praat je al over februari. Dus dat is echt lang geleden en ik ben echt wel een tijdje weg geweest. En de opbouw die ik nu krijg vanaf mijn eerste wedstrijd, Rangers, waar ik inviel, El Wassel en Vojvodina en nu Panathinaikos Heerenveen, is een goede opbouw geweest. En voelde ik me echt per dag, per week, per wedstrijd sterker worden. En ja, dat is wel wat ik echt nodig had en dat wil ik gewoon heel graag uitbreiden.
Hoe staat het met het vertrouwen van de selectie voor de wedstrijd van morgen?
Goed, een goed gevoel na de laatste wedstrijd. Alleen ja, dat zegt niks voor morgen. Morgen is weer een hele andere wedstrijd. Tegen een goede ploeg, waarin we denk ik vrij gelijkwaardig zijn als ik de wedstrijd van vorige week ook bekijk. En zullen we in alles gewoon goed moeten zijn om de volgende ronde te bereiken.
Dankjewel.
Graag gedaan.
Gaan we naar voren toe. Sammy.
Berghuis, ben jij nu de nieuwe rechtsbuiten bij Ajax? Of hoe zit dat?
De laatste 2-3 wedstrijden wel.
En wat heeft jouw voorkeur? 10, hè? 10, toch?
Spelen wij met een 10?
Ja, maar daar wil je wel het liefst spelen.
Maar spelen we met een 10?
Nou, nu niet, maar...
Dus waar de trainer me nodig heeft.
Maar voel je je goed daar op de rechtsbuiten? Want ik heb ook wel vorig jaar met je gesproken. Toen zei je, ja, middenveld zou ook kunnen. Maar hoe zit dat nu?
Ja, je wil gewoon graag involved zijn en graag aan de bal komen. En ik denk met het spel en met de variatie wat we nu erin proberen te krijgen met veel lopende mensen, dan kan je vanaf rechts spelen ook heel gevaarlijk zijn en gevaarlijk zijn voor het team en belangrijk. Waarin ik soms in de voorgaande jaren best wel het gevoel had, omdat we vooral onder Erik heel erg de linkerkant overloaden en de rechterkant was meer geïsoleerd met Anthony en Mazraoui. En dan was het echt kantwissel en dan de 1 tegen 1. Ja, dat was voor Anthony natuurlijk geweldig. En
Ja.
ik ben daarin meer combinatiespeler. En dus ja, ik hoef jullie denk ik niet uit te leggen waar ik goed in ben en wat ik de laatste jaren heb kunnen laten zien. En dan is het aan de trainer waar hij dat het graagst gebruikt.
En is het dan ook mogelijk dat je met Francesco het daarover hebt? Dat je daar ook een soort open gesprek over kan hebben? Of is hij meer van, daar speel je en dat is het?
Nee, daar kunnen we het zeker over hebben. En dat bevalt gewoon tot nu toe goed.
Top, dankjewel. Francesco? Let me see. Oh, ja. Is it difficult during the transfer period that players suddenly can leave? Is it difficult for you? Is that something inside of the back of your head?
The transfer market is always, for coaches, is always a nightmare because one day you have one player, the day after is leaving, and one new player coming. So it's always a bit complicated. What I learned in my short experience as a coach is just to focus in who is in front of myself, and as I said many times, these players, they deserve a lot of respect, a lot of attention, and after again, if some players tomorrow will not be here, for sure I want to let them go with the feeling that I gave everything to them. And also because the feeling that I'm getting with all the players, that they give me a lot and they are giving me a lot. So it's a mutual, relationship, giving and receiving, and that's all.
What kind of game do you expect tomorrow?
Tough, super tough, for sure. Again, I was already quite aware about the qualities of Panathinaikos before the first leg. After the match, I think it's the awareness is even more because all the possible scenarios that we were thinking, they went for this type of solution. Is a team with a lot of qualities, with a lot of physicality in all the areas of the pitch. They have players that also they can enter during the match and they can change the dynamics. A lot of and also a strong mentality because at the end is a big club. They have a big ambition, so it's a game that for us the most important part is to approach like is a new game, forgetting what we have done in Athens 1 week ago, and to start the game with a 0-0 and with a desire to approach the game with a clean mind.
Last question. I noticed during the training you have a piece of paper.
Yeah, always.
Always, eh?
Always.
What's on it? And why?
No, the training is the training steps. I'm young, but also I'm getting a bit older day by day. So sometimes it's important to refresh what we are going to do in the next step, which are the coaching points and the organization of the training.
Good. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Mike, en dan gaan we daarna naar Linda.
Steven, goedemiddag. Kun jij uitleggen hoeveel leuker het is om weer Ajax-speler te zijn dan de afgelopen 2 jaar?
Nou, dat heb ik de afgelopen 2 jaar ook wel af en toe ervaren. En we zijn nu ook nog net bezig. Alleen, het blijft gewoon mooi als je volle arena inloopt, thuiswedstrijden. Dat blijft iets unieks en dat was het vorig jaar ook en 2 jaar geleden ook. En ik geniet gewoon van het moment.
Ja. Je staat tot 2025 onder contract.
Ja.
Hoe zeker ben jij dat je hier 2 september nog voetbalt? En sta je open voor contractverlenging? Ben je al in gesprek? Of is dat met de nieuwe salarissen van Ajax een onmogelijke opgave om bij te tekenen?
Ja, ik heb daarover met Alex eind vorig seizoen, toen hij net weer terug was, over gesproken. Ik denk dat die gesprekken waarschijnlijk in september weer worden opgepakt. Ik weet zeker dat ik hier na 2 september nog speel. Dus,
je gaat sowieso geen transfer maken.
Nee, dus voor mij is deze transferperiode heel erg rustig. Omdat ik weet waar ik ben. En daarna gaan we kijken hoe of wat.
Ja. Translation, Francis? Okay. Francesco, good afternoon. Can you tell me why you decided to train in the arena today?
Persconferentie here, and after to have the possibility to go direct on the pitch.
Okay, it looked like it was a last-minute decision because we had the information that you would train at the toekomst, but
No, it was something that we planned. We asked if it was possible to train here, to have the feeling of the pitch. Yeah.
Okay. What are you the most satisfied with at the moment with this squad?
With the spirit, mentality, commitment, and desire. These for me are the elements that are present since the day one, and I think this is honestly our daily petrol, like our energies, and this is what is helping us to move through. And of course, this is not enough, but I think this is the base from where to build.
Yeah, Steven just told that he will stay at Ajax. Does it make you happy? And can you explain why he's so important?
Yeah, he makes me really happy. So he's again, he's not here to, I'm not here to just share candy words, but it's just to say the reality. Steven, it was one of the first players that I met in the physio room when I arrived. So I was walking in the changing room. We just cross each other over there. We shake hands. We spoke for a few minutes, and on his words, in the first day, I had like probably the best picture of where Ajax was and where the people that really love Ajax would like to bring Ajax back. So this for me is the priority, the spirit, the people, the human side, and after again, if to this one we can add the left foot of Steven, is even better, and that's why we are so lucky to have a great footballer, but also a great player and an important player in terms of leadership, qualities, and many other things. So for us, of course, it's important to have him with us.
Yeah, tomorrow there will be 55,000 fans again.
Yeah.
Will you finally start with your strongest team tomorrow?
I always start with my strongest team.
Yeah?
Yeah, always.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Without Robbie, without Bergwijn?
I start with the strongest team for the game.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lentin.
And sorry, for you, which is the strongest team? What make you feel that one team is stronger than the other?
With Robbie, with
My question is
all the players we saw before.
Yeah, my question is very specific. What make you feel that one team is stronger than the other?
Yeah, I saw the team last year and the players last year.
Okay.
So I think some players are better than other players.
Yeah.
Okay.
And?
Yeah, I think you can
You
put better players on the pitch.
Yeah, but also you are missing one part of the picture.
Can you tell me
And
which part?
Many parts, the condition where they are, not to take risk for them to be, exposed to risk of injuries, etc., etc. So, in the evaluation, and again, it's something that I spoke after the game. Sometimes it's complicated to understand the total overview. And what I try to do is this one, is to put the pieces together. And I'm not saying that I'm always right, because usually when we are here, we are most of the time wrong. But there are many factors that we need to consider. For example, the decision with Steven to postpone a bit his moment to come back, it was not because Steven is not a great player.
Okay.
It's because Steven needed time to be ready. And this is the same for the others. So I try to put the team, always the best team on the pitch.
Are Robbie, Bergwijn and Traoré fit enough to start tomorrow?
Some of them, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Gaan we nu naar Lentin.
Now that Steven Berghuis is back in the squad, have you made a decision regarding your captain yet?
Yeah, my decision is something that is in, how to say, is always moving forward, in the fact that we are in a process where, as I said, it's not just who is wearing the armband, but it's about the group of people. So this is for me the priority, is to have 5-6 captains that are able to wear the band, but also that are able to stay, to keep the team in the right path.
So who will wear the band tomorrow?
Jordan.
Okay, thank you. If we look at the general development of the team, obviously defensively you have improved massively, already 3 clean sheets. On the offensive part, there might be some more room for improvement. Can you name some things you are trying to improve specifically in the attacking part?
No, there are many things, but also defensively, of course, the 3 clean sheets are an important steps in our journey. But also defensively, for example, in the last game with Herenben, I think we concede a couple of situations that they were not that we could somehow avoid. So there are rooms to improve in many different areas. After, I also believe that there are, of course, with the ball and in the attacking phase, many things that we can do better. First one is the efficiency, because at the end we are always generating one amount of chances that could give us something more than what we are getting at the moment. But again, we are in a process where we cannot be completely fresh also in the final pass or in the finishing, and also a bit of let's say we were not very lucky. For example, with the post of Branco, the rebound that went on the Chuba feet. So like this type of situation. And after, of course, is the capacity to be a bit more constant during the game and to be every day more capable to play in the opposite half, to be a bit more dominant and to be a bit more efficient in the way of attacking, a bit more aggressive in the way that we make the final run. So all these type of things are fundamental. And this is where I feel that we should really take a step forward.
And would it also be an option to put Steven Berghuis in midfield to bring some more creativity over there?
Sure. Steven knows that this could be a solution or a possibility in the short, in the medium term. And again, all the things, and also to answer to the question of Mike before, all the games are different. So at the end, there are a type of game or game that, in my idea, they are going to take one type of scenario or another one, and according to the scenario that we are going to face, I try to take the best decision possible. That, as I said, are not always the correct one, but the one that, in my opinion, are the most logical one.
En Steven, als je het vergelijkt met vorig jaar qua creëren van echt grote kansen, de laatste 2 wedstrijden hebben jullie volgens mij 4 schoten op doel. Zie jij er nog een verschil in ten opzichte van vorig seizoen?
Ja, ik wil sowieso wegblijven van dat vergelijken elke keer met vorig jaar, 2 jaar geleden. Dat wil ik gewoon helemaal achter me laten eigenlijk. En,
maar wat kan er in jouw ogen beter dan, als ik het zo vraag?
In het creëren van kansen? Daarin is elke situatie verschillend. Soms wordt een kans gecreëerd uit een moment dat je de bal afpakt. Soms wordt een kans gecreëerd omdat je goede posities inneemt op het veld vanuit de opbouw. Soms wordt een kans gecreëerd door gewoon een individuele kwaliteit. Dus daarin is elke situatie anders. Dus ik denk als we met ons voetbal, met ons positiespel, de juiste mensen in de goede posities aan de bal krijgen, ja, dan vergroot je gewoon dan vergroot je de kans op een kans. En uiteindelijk leef je dan met het resultaat omdat je die kans creëert. Dus ik heb er wel vertrouwen in met de kwaliteiten die wij hebben in ons elftal, dat we meer doelpunten gaan maken.
Ik zag jou in Athene nog even een onderrondje hebben met Tony Vilena, jouw ploeggenoot. Ja. Die hadden volgens mij ook een shirtje uitgewisseld. Waar ging dat verder over?
Nee, over hoe hij het had in Athene. Over zijn familie, zijn 2 kinderen. Hij appte me net toevallig nog dat hij een parkeerkaart nodig had voor morgen. Dus ik moet nog even langs Herman. Maar gewoon leuke, warme herinneringen aan Tony. Samen kampioen geworden natuurlijk. De beker gewonnen. En gewoon heel leuk en goed gespeeld. En eigenlijk over de jaren steeds wel contact gehouden via de app. Dus gewoon leuk om oude herinneringen op te halen. We belden ook nog El Amadi en collega van jou, ESPN. El Amadi belden we nog en Bilal Bassikoglu, omdat we altijd een groepje hadden met z'n 4 of 5. Dus het was gewoon een leuke herinnering om weer terug aan te denken.
Gaat hij spelen morgen?
Ja, dat weet ik niet. Dat heb ik niet gevraagd.
Ja, daar geloof ik helemaal niks van.
Nee, echt niet.
Succes.
Nee, echt niet.
Wij zitten bijna aan het half uur, maar ik wil uiteraard de andere kant van de zaal ook nog de gelegenheid geven om een vraag te stellen. Maar hou het een beetje kort, alsjeblieft. Ja. Beginnen we met Lindy vooraan.
Hi, Francesco. I noticed that during the last game, the players were arriving by bus instead of by car. Is that a new protocol to arrive together?
Yes.
Why?
No, this one is again in the desire to build a bit of I would say atmosphere, or like the feeling that when we go to the game all together. So we decided also to have some meetings in the Toekomst. That is the place where we spend a bit more time, so where we are a bit more familiar, also to spend some extra hours. So this is the idea. So we left our car here in the morning. We move just 200 meters to the training center, and after, when we go to the game, it's the game time for everybody.
You told us that you watched youth games from Feyenoord just to get a better idea of the coach from the opponent. Do you always delve so deep into your opponent?
Yeah, I'm grateful to have also a technical staff that is helping me a lot to share, the workload. We try to go quite deep in the analysis of the opponent and also in our own analysis. And this is the part that for us is important, both sides, so to analyze ourselves, but also to know a bit more about the opponent. When we prepare Panathinaikos, of course, we had just few games to watch, and we went to see a lot of games also from last season of Alonso when he was in Seville, because this is again to try to have an extra care or an extra attention, and sometimes the information that we collect are useful, sometimes not, but we want to go to sleep with a feeling that we try to be on top of everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Job.
Francesco, you just explained why you pick several players to play in the basis now. When the season is getting more towards the end, and let's say we are in November or in December, do you intend to play with like a smaller number of basisspelers?
Again, it's too early, and there is no one solution that is always the same. Last season, when I was in Nice, when we had the moment or the situation to play 3 games in a week, I almost played with the same lineup, like 3 games, always with the same players. In my previous year in Turkey, when we had 3 games, I was changing even more players from one game to the other, because not all the team are the same. Not all the players are the same, and again, is a decision that is. If I need to go through the reason why we stay here 1 hour, because the parameters that we try to take in consideration are many. So I know that sometimes from outside is a bit complicated to have a full understanding of why and what, but in the other side, as I said. And especially because if I put so much attention about the group, the spirit, and all these type of things, and promoting the fact that if we train hard, we are going to get better and to get and to be better as a collective. After, when is the moment? Also, because something is to say, but after also there is a moment where you need to prove that what you say is real. And when there is the moment, and if the players are ready to play, sometimes you need to give the opportunity. And this is what I did last week. Of course, I knew that it was somehow like the feeling of a risk, but in my side, I was really conscious and really, secure that this was the best 11 to play the game against Erenven. And I give you also now that the game is over, not about the results, but about the game that Erenven played in terms of intensity and effort that they put on the pitch. We could not play 3 matches at this stage of the season with the same players. The game was massive from the physical point of view. Erenven finished with 3 players with cramp. So if we were not ready to cope with them, we were going to suffer even more. And 4 days after, going to play one game like the one of tomorrow, that is a game that is for us is vital. So these are the things that make me decide in one way or the other.
And that means, if I can make a conclusion about that, that you are a trainer who sees who makes decisions on the basis of what is in front of him every day, more or less.
every day.
And so you don't have a set program that you work through with every club you've been to?
No, I have how to say my program or my plans, but I think something that is in our duties is to change the plan or to change what we have in mind. Because if we come here with pre-judgment or pre-analysis and we just want to stick with what we felt it was correct, for me we are doing half of our job, and our job is to change or to be able to change, not to change, but to be able to change every second a decision in order to try to be the best for the situation that we are going to face.
Okay. One last question on behalf of me. You said, I think to Lenton about Steven Berghuis, that you might see him as a midfielder as well. Could you give some more thoughts on that? How do you see him as a player? Because he's been in his career, I think he's been playing even in the center in the youth. Also right, also left in the attacking.
Yeah, no, Steven can play, of course, also inside. In my opinion, I see him more as a left winger. But of course, he had also different experiences also with the national team recently. In some moments where they were playing with two players behind the striker, he was playing a bit more inside. So he's a player that, by characteristics, he can play in, let's say, several positions or more than one position. It's normal that in the system that we are playing at the moment, I see him more as a pure winger than inside. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Farioli. You are a very different coach than other coaches. Do you think you get enough appreciation for the process you're in now? Because also on television there are a lot of former football players and they say this is not real Ajax and that sort of things. But what do you think about that? And do you think the appreciation is enough for the process?
Look, the appreciation, honestly, what I care, and because again we are human beings and we care a lot about the feeling and the emotions that are with us. But for me, the most important part is to have the appreciation of the guys that are in the changing room. These are the ones that are going to make the difference on the pitch. And I don't know if appreciation is the right word, but how to say, to evaluate what we are doing and mainly to recognize if a person is honest and is able to bring a bit of energy and some ideas. For me, this is my motivation, not what is on the media or what is in the television. Because if we start to listen to everybody, there is no time for anything else. And now, honestly, for where we are as a team, as a club, there is no time to waste, and there is just time to work and to push really strong in our direction and for our objective. Thank you so much.
Joey, jij mag hem afsluiten.
Yes.
Mr. Farioli, to what extent are you afraid that tomorrow's lineup will leak?
It's a possibility. What we can say, again, these are not things that are in our total control at the moment, at least, and that's all. If the lineup will be out also tonight, we have one, how to say, something to double check one more time, but we don't have time for this type of things. As I said, after Heerenveen, for me the priority is to put the attention in the things that are in our control. Of course, it's a bit painful because, as I said, people that are working for Ajax and paid by Ajax, they should be a bit more respectful about what we are doing. But again, we know that sometimes these things can happen. We don't know who is. In this case, there is also a funny joke about he's a player. We don't know who it is, so it's not my intention at all to try to look for, because, as I said, my energy is to try to find solutions to help my players to perform tomorrow and nothing else.
Eén vraag voor Steven alleen. Momentje. Daley Blind die zet net op zijn Instagram dat hij stopt als international.
Wie?
Daley Blind.
Oké.
Hoe reageer jij daarop?
Verrast, zoals je ziet. Een mooie interlandcarrière, denk ik. Wauw, 106 of 107?
108.
108. Ja. Ja, ik mis hem nog elke dag hier. En ja, gefeliciteerd voor hem na zijn carrière. Maar dat hoef ik niet hier te doen, want ik spreek Daly nog regelmatig. Maar hier heeft hij me niet over geïnformeerd.
Waarom ben je zo verrast dan?
Ja, ik weet, Daly is wel echt een voetballiefhebber, echt een voetbaldier. En was echt trots om voor het nationale elftal te spelen. En ik denk dat hij er in de afgelopen jaren echt altijd bij was en er alles aan deed om erbij te zijn. En wat heeft geresulteerd in 108, zeiden jullie net. 108 interlands. Chapeau, petje af. Helemaal voor de weg die hij heeft afgelegd en soms de twijfels die er waren en zijn hartprobleem die hij heeft gehad. Verdient hij natuurlijk ongelooflijk respect voor hetgeen wat hij heeft gedaan.
Dankjewel.
Oké.
Bedankt voor jullie aanwezigheid. Onze training start om 4 uur hier in het stadion. Het eerste kwartier is open. Tegenstanders hebben om 5:15 de persconferentie en de training start om 6 uur. Ook het eerste kwartier open voor media. Dank jullie wel.
Thank you.